Anyway, so I was like, Steve, like I was like, I don't really know how much to do, because I haven't really done it since I was a kid, and I don't really like it. It usually just makes me like nervous and anxious. So whatever, we did it, and then like I remember like because apparently they take like an hour to kick in. I'd never actually done like edibles or anything before, um, and I was sat there eating food. We were watching this film, right? And I remember just like out of nowhere, I was just like, I didn't feel like I was chewing food in my mouth anymore. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt like I was chewing like what do they put in your mouth at the dentist? You know, like those little white foamy things? I kind of felt like I was just chewing that. And I was just like, I don't know why. I just kept like, I carried on eating even though I felt like I wasn't eating anymore. Yeah, like almost like cotton swabs. But for some reason, I just kept eating and eating, even though I felt like it was so dry and I was just like chewing cotton the whole time. But I guess I was just like super high. So I just kept doing it. Anyway, like, and we had like this boba, right? We had this boba, and after I got done eating, I could feel that I wasn't really like digesting the food anymore because it had been so dry. It was kind of like all just like stuck here. I was drinking boba. I was like drinking my boba to try and wash it down, and I became like, I don't know how to explain this, right? But I became like hyper fixated on getting every single boba, getting every single little boba ball out of the no chat not booba boba like bubble tea boba. I became like hyper fixated on getting every single boba through the straw. But the boba had like a plastic lid on it, and like you punctured it to get the straw in, and it was like really squeaky. So at one point, the boys like were laughing at me, and they were like, "Can you shut up?" And because I was like really high and hyper fixated on what I was doing, I hadn't realized what I was doing. And anyway, we were watching like a scary movie. We were watching like, and I swear like. Q, thank you so much for the gifted sub. I really appreciate it. Chat, I swear this is like 20 minutes later, right? I had obviously been in, I can only describe it as like a hyperfixated state of getting every single boba ball out the bottom of this thing. So, all I remember... All I remember, right, is that I was sat on the, I was sat on the sofa. I had Dumdog in front. We were like all lying on this sofa. I had like Dumdog in front of me, Ellum next to me, and then Steve further down. And then I just remember like, and I don't know how to explain this. It was like, guys, I need you to picture I need you to picture Frankenstein for a second, okay? I don't know. You know how like Frankenstein gets his head sewn on? So if you imagine Frankenstein turning round, it would be like this, okay? And I was fixated on getting these bobas out, right? And it was squeaking. But I didn't know it was squeaking because I was hyper fixated on getting the boba out. And Dumdog turned around to me, chat, like this. Like, I can only describe it as like Frankenstein turning to look at me. Like, Dumdog doesn't look like Dumdog doesn't look like Frankenstein. But the way he was moving reminded me of Frankenstein. And bro, I looked up and I made this eye contact with with Dumdog, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So I looked. I looked to my left. I looked to my left like this, and and Ella just goes like this. and they and they hated me. Chat, I know. It's so funny, honestly. They hated me so much because I've been making this squeaking fucking noise with my boba for like half an hour at this point, and I don't like doing annoying things. I don't like being loud. I'm a very quiet person. Bro, I just broke down. I was in like hysterical laughter. and, and honestly, I was in hysterical laughter to the point. You guys remember how I was saying my food was like cotton? It was like eating cotton. I was laughing so hard that I thought I was going to throw up because I felt like I had all this cotton in my chest, like here, because I couldn't swallow it and digest it. And it got to the point, I said to the boys, I said, I'm so sorry, I have to leave the room because if I stay in this room, I'm going to throw up because I can't stop fucking laughing. So I went, I went into the bathroom to try and calm myself down, like as far away from everyone as I could get, like as possible, far away as possible. And I was in the bathroom next to the toilet because I was so scared I was going to be sick. Not because I was like panicking or anything, just because like the food hadn't digested and I felt like I was laughing so hard with my belly. It felt like the food was just going to come up because I was laughing so fucking hard. And I was in the toilet for about 10 minutes on my own chat, just hysterically laughing. Like, I have never had the giggles like that in my fucking life. Like, it was like scream laughing. Like, it was so loud. And I finally calmed down and I was like, okay, I just need to stop laughing so my food can digest and I can go and sit back down and chill out with the boys again. And I convinced myself that it was going to be fine if I go back in the room as long as I don't look at anyone. What MG did you take? Well, this is the thing. It was 10 MG and I don't do weed, but apparently that was like going to be absolutely fine. Bro, it was not fine. Anyway, I was like, I'm going to go back into the room, and as long as I don't make eye contact with anyone, I won't laugh, and it'll be fine. I think it was like the type as well. I think it was like a really strong type, but I don't know. I don't know anything about that stuff. Anyway, so I finally like braved it to go back into the room, and I walked over to the sink without looking at anyone because I was like, if I look at anyone, I'm gonna start laughing. So I walked slowly across the room, looking at the floor to get to the sink, and I got to the sink and I started filling up my water so I could like just swallow. And I was like, I've made it. I haven't laughed. I got to the sink and all the boys were over there on the sofa, like really far away. And as soon as I looked up, Ellen was just sat on the sofa looking at me like this. And I just fucking went again. I just broke again. And honestly, I was hysterically laughing for about half an hour. And Ellen was just like, like laughing at me, like, Steve, I found out the next day, Steve was too scared to laugh because he thought I was having a panic attack the entire time. But I was honestly just had the worst giggles I've ever had in my life. Bro, I'm sure that story doesn't make that much sense to you guys, but when I told Abby it, she was in hysterics, so I was like, I gotta share that story because that's just too funny. That's too